Okay, my little 90cc Baja clone is now finished. It's not perfect, so the price I'm going to ask for is not a perfect price. I'm probably going to ask about 500 bucks for this bike, and I'll take 400. But on the higher end, I would like 500. It does run, it does ride, it does stop. Both tires hold air, front and back brakes both work. It does shift. It's a 2-speed, forward, up. There's obviously no reverse, being a dirt bike. It is Kickstart only, which is kind of its downside due to an issue with the Kickstart. The splines on the Kickstart shaft have worn off, so I've welded the actual Kickstart to the shaft. So not a big deal, but obviously I'll disclose that in the listing. If you ever had to do a clutch on this, it would be a big deal then, because you'd have to cut the shaft off to change the clutch. You might have enough there to weld another one back on, but it's hard to say. Clutch is good on this bike. I have rode it. There's no particulates in the oil or nothing from the clutch, which is good. So I've actually rode it. Then I drained the oil and I put fresh oil back in it. So there's no particulates in the clutch in the oil. So since it is a wet clutch. The exhaust sounds good on the bike. I've put all the plastics back together just earlier today. There's one hooey right here when they broke off the tail piece. Also on this side here, I've epoxied this piece. It was actually broken in 2 spots. Luckily, when I got the bike, I did get all the pieces. So if I would have got this piece right here, believe me, that would have been glued back on. And yes, the seat is Gorilla taped. It actually turned out pretty good. It's definitely presentable, and it's definitely usable. The seat is all bolted back down. It has 2 bolts in the back, and then it slips up underneath the tank at the front. The bike does have True Fuel in it at the moment, so high shelf life. Since I didn't know how long this bike would be sitting around for, I figured do it right, put True Fuel in the tank, obviously being a 4-stroke. All this is all good and tight. It usually starts on 2 to 3 kicks, which I don't think is too bad. Put the choke on, 1, 2 kicks, usually will pop off, take the choke off, 1 more kick, and you're good to go. I don't believe there's any issues with either rim, spokes, first glance. Everything looks good on them. Basically, I want to take it up and down the road once, just get all the mud off the tires and just give it one last ride before I do sell it. So it is definitely too small for me, so that's why it is going away. I do have a place to ride it, but it's a too small of a bike for me, only being a 90. I can do okay on it, but I wouldn't want to push it too much on a bike this small, especially being a little over 200 pounds. So anyways, that's pretty much it for the little 2006 Baja clone bike, 90cc. Definitely not a bad project, considering this was sold basically as having a blown engine, which it did not. And just about all the pieces were here, minus an air filter, which I was kind of worried about at first, but I don't think they ever ran it without the air filter. There was no master link, so I actually bought a complete kit. It came with a sprocket and a master link. I did have a side cover, but the side cover I had wasn't in very good shape, so I bought that one there, modified it. So I had to cut the back a little bit for a swing arm. So the master link came with a new sprocket and came with a bunch of hardware for the sprocket, which was good. I should have the old parts around here somewhere. Sell them with the bike probably, or I'll just keep them for myself. We'll see. So anyways, there we go. I'll talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.